Some lines on a map just beg to be driven. This one traces the northeast corner of South Carolina, threading through the Wateree Lake corridor, the Carolina Sandhills, and a stretch of back roads that most people will never even know existed. Sam and I found it on OnX, the way we find most of our best ideas. A few taps on a screen, a quick text that says "you in," and just like that, the weekend has a purpose. Not far in, we come around a bend and find we're not the only ones with the same idea. A whole crew of Jeeps, doors off, dusty, grinning, living their best lives on the same stretch of dirt we're calling ours for the weekend. I didn't stop to talk, and I've been thinking about that ever since. Because out here, a wave and a nod just doesn't cover it. Those are your people. There's something about a doorless Jeep caked in trail dust that just communicates everything. No explanation needed. That rig has been somewhere, done something, and whoever's behind the wheel earned that layer of Carolina clay. Then come the bikers. Not the kind that stick to the shoulder. These two are out here in the thick of it. 2 wheels, no doors, no problem. There's a mutual respect that happens on a trail like this, when you're all just out here chasing the same quiet, different rigs, same mission. As the light starts to drop and the temperature softens, we find our spot at Cheraw State Park and start setting up camp. Day 1 does that thing it always does. It winds down slowly, like the trail is trying to hold on to you just a little bit longer. The rigs go quiet, the chairs come out, and for a few hours, the only thing on the agenda is whatever's in the cooler and whatever's in the sky. Days like this, they don't ask much of you. They just ask you to show up. Morning at Cheraw comes in quiet and warm. Late April in northeast South Carolina is just about perfect. The kind of air that makes you want to sit still before the day gets moving. And Sam. Sam has been talking about this breakfast since before we even left home. You know those moments where the smell of camp cooking hits you and you forget there's a whole world outside this clearing? That's this moment. I don't know if it tasted as good as it smelled, or if everything just tastes better with a night's sleep in the woods behind it. But either way, Sam delivers.
See, this is a final result, final product. We have the layer at the bottom, kale, hash brown, eggs, and avocado.
Day 2. Different weather, different energy, same mission. The sky has other ideas this morning, but we've learned to stop treating rain like an obstacle. Some of the best miles we've ever put on these rigs have been gray and wet. Not far in, the trail drops a hint that it's not going to hand us anything today. A downed tree, just sitting there, blocking the road like it's been waiting for us specifically. Honestly, I've been looking for an excuse to pull out the chainsaw. The trail just did me a favor. A few minutes later, we've got a new log and a clear path. Sometimes it's just that simple. The trail starts to show the rain. Yesterday this was sand and pine needles and easy miles. Today it's got some teeth. Ruts deeper than they look, mud that grabs and holds, and that particular kind of slick clay that South Carolina seems to specialize in. Your tires either earn their keep on a day like this, or they remind you what you should have bought instead. Then we round a bend, and I recognize it. I've seen this exact obstacle swallow vehicles on YouTube more than once, the kind of thing that looks manageable right up until it isn't. We're on the last leg. The rigs are tired, we're tired, and there's a difference between bold and stubborn. Sam and I look at each other over the radio for a second, and we both know. Some trails are for today, some are for when you've got more time, more recovery gear, or a better reason to explain it to your insurance company. We take a fork hoping the trail has one more trick up its sleeve. It doesn't. The road narrows to a 2-track, then a suggestion, then grass, and then just trees. There's a particular kind of silence at the end of a trail that doesn't go anywhere. It's not defeat exactly, it's more like acceptance of a new challenge. So we turn around. Which, if you've never backtracked a muddy 2-mile trail in the rain, is its own kind of adventure. And somewhere in those miles of retracing our own ruts, I start thinking about what the weekend actually was. We found a Jeep club, shared the trail with bikers who had more grit than gear. Sam delivered on breakfast. We put a chainsaw to work. We walked up to an obstacle, looked it in the eye, and made the smart call. That's the thing about trails like the Scar Northeast Alternate. They're not about whether you finish clean. They're about what happens in the middle. The decisions, the small moments. The way two friends figure out the same problem from 2 different rigs. Northeast South Carolina doesn't ask much of you. It just offers you the chance to get a little lost, find your way back, and maybe earn a story worth telling. This is Eric and Sam. Keep chasing dirt, and we'll see you out there.